Hello there, Apple Bites. This is your Apple Bite written Rit Ralph talking to you straight from our show here, Apple Bites, where we take a bite out of the apple and share it with you. And today, as you can see, we have a plethora of guests ready to hang out, ready to geek out, ready to have fun. And I call this Kickstarter-mageddon because I think everybody has a Kickstarter.
Also, we are 2 people away from being the Brady Bunch right now.
We got one more missing. You know, Derek is out there somewhere, so he should be in here soon. So we'll be one short.
All right. One short of a Brady Bunch.
There you go, folks.
We're Hollywood Squares.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a throwback.
It's always feels funny. I always feel like I should be like, "Oh, hey, what's up? How you doing?"
In the center square. Hunting for cats.
All right, your question will be.
That's a category. Sorry.
I'll take Ralph.
Category.
Folks, today is Martin Luther King Day. Hope you guys had a pretty decent day out there, remembering little things and all the beautiful things that come with it. And at the same time, it's just been an interesting day.
Too interesting. I don't like how interesting it's been. I don't feel good about it.
Oh, you gotta enjoy life. All right, dude. I gotta say, you know, I was surprised when the whole always punch Nazis popped up on me again. I was like, hey, it kind of came out of nowhere to me because usually like I know what's going on with it, and it was like, hey, Matta goes, hey, Ralph, I'm doing always punch Nazis.
Yeah, that was a nice surprise to me too. Shout out to Will for bringing me into this. Long time no speak. Always great seeing you.
Ironically, I know. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know who's freezing up. I feel like everyone's freezing. It's like, oh. No, the irony is I happen to know like everything about Always Punch Nazis, and then when Ben and Kurt were talking to me about Will's story, all of a sudden like Matta's name came up. I'm like, wait a second, and like 5 minutes later,
I know that menace.
I got this message like, hey, you want to come on the show on Monday? I'm like, what is going on in my life? So somehow that got under my radar on the Always Punch Nazis, but the
I love
omnibus,
sneaking in like that.
Yeah, no, we're finally launching the omnibus, which made my whole like past 4 years because I've been talking about that for the longest time.
I think the funniest thing is the story about getting in trouble for always punch Nazis as a title.
I mean, the story that never ends. It's like lamb chop.
Exactly.
I mean, when you could put on your resume that you helped launch a union, I mean, that's like wild.
Was it also like the first tech union or something?
Tech union, yeah, exactly.
Union.
Like that is some historical shit right there.
The campaign should be going live at any point in time, but I made a point to put the oral history of Kickstarter. I mentioned to I think Ben Ferrari's doing the creative Kickstarter campaign this time around, and I told him, I said, there we go. I said to Ben, I'm like, make sure you put the oral history of Kickstarter episode 2 on there, because don't take my word for this stuff, because who am I? I'm just a guy on the internet wearing a Man City hat, hoping that they start winning games. And I'm just like, people have to hear their story. I mean, it legitimately brought me to tears, and I lived it. And even living it, I didn't know what was happening. Like, I found out about it when we were launching Always Punch Nazis Volume 2. So I've been kind of cryptic on this one. Should I tell the story again? I feel like I tell the story all the time.
I will confirm to you that me and Will got like the behind the scenes look at the page, and he did put a link to the oral history. He put a link also to an NBC article about the unionization and stuff. Like Ben was on it.
I think you should tell the story because we always have a new audience out there, and I think they're going to want to know what we're talking about.
Yeah, it usually helps to clear up the whole story, right? I wish we could just scroll through the page, but it's still not launched. I've been waiting all day. I'm like, this is supposed to launch today. This is supposed to launch today. Somebody's probably working. So the story, like when we originally launched Always Punch Nazis, right? For those of you who don't know, Always Punch Nazis is I mean, the way I look at it, I think every contributor looks at it through a different lens. But for me, this is an anti-racism anthology really designed to, promote equality, promote all that, the stuff that we should be promoting, really. I mean, Nazi propaganda. We shouldn't be promoting that, so we want to punch that. So after that wonderful night in Charlottesville, and we had people marching with like pitchforks and torches.
Yeah,
that was what sparked this whole thing. And Ben Ferrari said, "What can we do?" And he came up with this idea of always punch Nazis. And that was like our answer. We make comic books, right? So we get a whole bunch of people together. Everyone interprets the title in their own way, and we launch this story designed to battle what ultimately is racism, and stuff like what we're seeing on the news. And we launch on Kickstarter with the intention of bringing attention to this and helping out Southern poverty law. That was the original motivation to help people who can't help themselves through what we're going through. And all of a sudden we hit launch and we're getting messages. I honestly think the goal was really to get the book into the hands of anyone that wanted it. So the original Kickstarter goal was $100. And we funded it in 5 seconds. It was great. We said it was like no goal. It was just a guarantee. This is the platform we're going to use just to get the book into the hands of anybody who wants it. That was really the mission. It didn't matter about making money. It really has never been about making money. So all of a sudden I'm getting messages from Ben, who I believe you're having on in a week.
He's going to be here on Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday.
Oh, this Wednesday? Oh, there you go. Later this week. So Ben's messaging me and he's asking me to change the campaign, because at that point I was the one organizing that campaign, and it's just no big deal. It's like, change this word, take this picture down, adjust it with this picture, just little things. The campaign runs, we get a good successful thing going on. But at that time, a certain group of people started attacking Kickstarter and us. Based on the title, Always Punch Nazis.
Wow.
Anyone in comics probably knows the group I'm talking about. And somehow, some way, it got the attention of Breitbart, and we ended up on Breitbart's website. Something about not following Kickstarter's campaign based on the title. So Kickstarter. What we learned a year later was the Kickstarter employees watched the campaign. The campaign was actually taken down. So as I'm getting these messages, the campaign was removed from the site, and the employees themselves fought management to keep it up. They didn't want the campaign coming down. They thought it was a justifiable cause, and it's not harming anyone. It's just a comic book.
Yeah. So
Kickstarter management succumbed to the pressure from that group of people who decided to push the agenda of getting it off the campaign, and the employees they all fought back. My first thought that something was weird was when I was making labels and organizing books to send out, and all of them were going to this Kickstarter headquarters. There was so many that went to Kickstarter. I'm like, what is going on here? And then all of a sudden I see a news article, Kickstarter is going to launch a tech union. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. That's interesting. And then I start reading the article, and Always Punch Nazis is right there. And it's like, wait, what? And then I learned about the story I just told you guys. And then a year later, they I think it was a year and a half later, that they formed their first union, and they credit this book, at least the first volume of this book, with that spark, that initial spark that they needed to really get the whole crew of people together. And I know Ben Ferrari, he could tell you a better story, but he met with one of the organizers over in San Francisco at some point, after everything was all said and done.
See, comics can change the world.
It's amazing.
Love it.
If I never do anything else in comics again, I got that story to tell.
I feel like it's always somebody who has an axe to grind that says the comics are bullshit, because it's the same people we've been fighting since we were kids, that they're constantly telling us how much comics suck and how much comics are not worthy of whatever it is that they don't think.
Because it's the people who never bother to read them and see them for what they are.
They're not political at all. Nope.
Which always bugs me out when people tell me that, and I sit there and I go, when I was reading X-Men, that whole thing, it's like, and my friend goes, what are you talking about? X-Men is not. I'm like, dude, the whole storyline is about people being put down. All the mutants are being looked down at.
Yeah, it's like an allegory for racism.
In honor of Martin Luther King Jr., I bring you Charles Xavier.
And then right away, people are like, "Well, that's not exactly what Stan Lee was trying to do. He added that in later." I'm like, whether he added it in later or not, it's still is what it is.
Yeah, it's still part of the core message at this point.
Well, Stanley was very, very good with going with the flow. So
yeah,
before when he created it, it was about the youth, but when it became about race, he's very quick to like go with the flow. He's a salesman, man. Ultimately.
He's a salesman, yeah.
But it doesn't matter. I mean, it still resonates.
Still the same message.
Matter. No, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, that giant size X-Men team, man. Think about it, man. You had a Canadian, you had an African, you had a Russian, a German, you had a Native American, you had everything. That was awesome, man. Yeah.
And you weren't seeing stuff like that at comics, especially at that time. You didn't see multiple races in one book. It
was usually just white people and then like the token whatever they threw in.
And it's funny because when I look at Always Punch Nazis, it reminds me of those books from the 80s. So it has that feel of those comics that we grew up with. The G.I. Joes, the superhero books that would fight in World War II. So to me, it's like it goes back to that time.
There's that famous Captain America cover where he's punching Hitler in the face.
Comics were never political.
Wait, Superman fought Nazis? Oh,
yeah.
dude, Popeye fought Nazis for crying.
Oh, him too.
Not Popeye too. My childhood is ruined.
Did you ever see that cartoon? Like, it's difficult because Disney banned it all over the place. But there's a cartoon where like Donald Duck had a nightmare that he was working for the Nazis. It's awesome.
Okay, I have to look that up.
I missed that one.
Yeah, you need to find it. It's tricky. Disney sees it anywhere, they'll take it down.
Look at Travis Gibbs going, "Hey, it's Will. I love Will."
Everyone loves Will. You can't not love Will.
I try.
Come on, he's a good
I like John. John's over here going, "I want to live in an uninteresting time."
Yes.
I agree with this John fellow, whoever he is.
Oh my God, it just bugs me out. Like it's so many different levels of like what the. Because it's the fact that comics are first off, comics are bullshit, whatever. Then it's like comics don't have this in it, and then I'm like, dude, I don't know which comics you've been reading this whole time.
You've been reading it all.
Oh, but that's not how it is, Ralph.
So I was reading. I do a lot of reading, and I think I was reading something on Ninja Turtles, and it was interesting. It's like one of those definitive histories of books. And they were talking about like, the 87 cartoon and all that good stuff and how it's so amazing. And then when they change it, the 2012 cartoon comes out and they change like the two-toed turtles to three-toed turtles and the whole audience flips out. And they're like, they just remember this show for what it was when they were in their youth. And they kind of forget how like ridiculous or maybe how, bad it was or the things that they missed. Like if you watch those cartoons now, I still love them and I'll watch them religiously. And you like them for what they are, but when you remember them as a kid, you're like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And you watch it as an adult, you're like, how did I ever like this? And
it's like this did not age well at all.
But you look at it through this better time in your life. You're a kid, you have no bills, you have no worry, whatever you want to say. But then you realize it's like, if it doesn't evolve, I mean, it's just not going to, you remember it through this lens, this, ruby colored glasses or whatever. There you go, Mom. And you just like you forget like, oh man, I can't watch that now. The show would never like go in syndication now. So then you see the new one, what is it, Tales, the new movie, and everyone's like, this movie is the worst, this is that.
Oh yeah.
Who cares? If it's not for you, it's not for you. Go watch the old one. It's okay. Yeah. It still exists, it's still there. But you forget like what Stan Lee did, what what Jack Kirby did. These guys were battling Nazis when the country wouldn't go battle Nazis. And you forget, it's not political, it was never this. You just missed the politics. I mean, that X-Men movie back in 2000 got it. They just changed the lens from racist to whatever it was at that time. Like, what were they going for? So it's just the evolution of storytelling. You have to, if you're not pushing the envelope, you're not changing. People, it's just gonna go away.
It's funny that you say that because one of the cartoons that I used to love as a kid, and it wasn't bad. It's just that the animation, I thought it was better than it was Transformers.
I love Transformers. Animation's
Go
horrible.
back and I watch those episodes from the old cartoon, and I'm like, I remember this being better.
Oh man, it's so funny because they could never get the scale right for the Transformers. So sometimes they were like almost the same size as the humans, but just a little bigger. Sometimes they were like 20 feet tall all of a sudden.
Somehow Megatron shrank into a gun that fit in Cobra Commander's hand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Actually, you know what show was like that for me? And I still love it. And again, I'd still watch it, but He-Man. He-Man, like
Yeah.
the original He-Man. You talk about animation that barely animated. I mean,
Oh my god! Like how many times
the same scene over and over.
He-Man laugh like that? And that roll. How many times do you see that roll? Like over and over and over. Like,
so I just put on the other day. I don't know. What was it 3 a week? And I put on G.I. Joe, and I was watching the first like G.I. Joe miniseries. And you talk about shows that like they age great. I tell you. And I text my I text my friend Justin, and I was just like, dude, they're going to the bottom of the Marianas Trench for heavy water because that's where heavy water is, at the bottom of the trench. I'm like, that is some 60s Batman logic right there. And that's what it was. And you turn around and you're like, that was the show I remember. That was great. They never should put The Rock in that movie. Stuff like that. You're just like,
dude, even when they talk about The Rock in the movie, I'm like, wait, they put Sergeant Slaughter in G.I. Joe.
Hey.
They put Refrigerator Perry in G.I. Joe.
Refrigerator Perry, yeah. And he was awesome.
Oh, dude. I love Slaughter in G.I. Joe.
If Slaughter doesn't go in G.I. Joe, do we still talk about him today? There's your question.
Dude, he is the nicest guy. I've worked for he was on the show recently. I worked for Mike at his booth, and he usually has the wrestling guys there. And Slaughter was there. He was such a nice guy.
Slaughter's been in a lot of conventions, man.
Yeah.
New York, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's funny to me, like, these wrestlers are these big and bad guys, and then I'll be hanging out with them at the booth, and they're like, excuse me, Ralph, can I get
If he really talks like that, I'm leaving right now.
Moses Sergeant Slaughter, no.
Okay. My God, that reminds me, speaking of wrestling, of like a Suburban Commando, the movie with Hulk Hogan, where like the enemy guys were like, "You're a dead man, Ramsey," and he's like, "No wonder you guys don't talk."
And that was Undertaker, and his voice is notoriously not like his ring voice, So
That
it's kind of an inside joke.
You just brought up Suburban Commando. You made my whole day. I was going to bring up Three Ninjas.
Yeah, Suburban Commando, for better or worse, has been like burned into my brain forever.
I have plenty of movies like that, though.
Yeah, constantly. There's a bunch of movies in my head constantly playing over and over.
I remember them well, and they better never change them again. Like they're coming out with a new He-Man movie. If they mess with Dolph Lundgren, put that guy back in. He can still do it.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's right. They're doing a whole new movie, whole live action new movie. It should be.
And then there's Voltron. Making a new Voltron movie without Keanu Reeves. And don't ask me why Keanu Reeves should be in it, but he should be in it. He should be in everything. Him and Freddie Prinze Jr. Yeah. Now I'm just saying random stuff.
Roddy Piper was actually a fantastic person. Yes, he was.
Rest in peace, man.
My favorite wrestler, Roddy Piper. I used to love watching.
They Live.
Oh, that was
great movie. Another one that's burned into my brain forever.
Playing in your head.
Yep.
That line of his, always saying that.
That's awesome.
Listen, since I just found out this before I got asked to come on this podcast, I got to hear Will's story and how he got involved in the Always Punch Nazis omnibus.
There you go. Go for it.
I'm involved in creating the thing, and I have no idea how some creators got it in. So.
Well, I was told no, actually.
Wow.
Listen, I met Jim Lee once, and I wanted to pitch Wildstorm, and he's like, I love this story because it's like my inspiration for life, I guess. And I asked him, I'm like, oh, how can I pitch for Wildstorm? He's like, oh, go through the website. I'm like, it does. It says no unsolicited submissions. He looks me dead in the eye and stops signing autographs to whoever was around him. And he just says, you're going to let that stop you?
Ooh.
And I was like, dude, that was it. That was like motivation for getting, I don't know where I am in comics, but, just moving forward in life. It's like, yeah, that's advice beyond advice. It's like, don't let it stop you. Just go forward.
Yeah.
So Will was told no. There you go.
Yeah, there we go. So, well, I worked with fabulous artist Robin Davis. He did a short story for Volume 2 and a short story for Volume 3, Paradox of Tolerance and Capitalism Plus Murder for Volume 3. And because of current events, I had an idea for a short story. It's called Be Prepared. It's what Matta did the art for. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to write this regardless. So I wrote it, and I'm like, hey, just so happens, Always Punch Nazis, the omnibus is coming out. So I reached out, to Ben, and I said, hey, I've got an idea for an 8-page story. You want to add it as a extra, to the omnibus or something? And he goes like, no, I don't really have time. I'm like, okay, whatever, no problem. A week later, he goes, let's do it. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I reached out to Matta, and because Matta had she did a really awesome cover, variant cover for Crossover Division number 5. And she's always
I'll
fun
have
to
to mail
work
the
with.
original to you, by the way. It's sitting here mocking me.
Oh.
I will get that out to you. It's been like 2 years. I'm so horrible at this. I have to mail out a cover to John too. Like I'm just dropping the ball on this.
So Matta said, I always want to work with Matta because she's great to work with. We hung out a lot on the podcast that Kevin Joseph and I did. Explain Yourself several times. You make an excellent Kevin Joseph impersonator. Thank you.
Thank you. I just needed to wear the fake goatee. I should have bought one to wear for the show anytime I had to fill in for him. Like I have the hair already, but just not the goatee.
Yeah. Anyway, Matta was crazy enough to say, yeah, I want to do it. I'm just like, okay, cool. So she turned in some awesome pages, and really, I don't think she needs me because, she does everything, right? She doesn't need a writer. She's an artist, and she does the coloring, and she does the lettering. You secretly run out and print these things too, don't you? Like in your own printing press? Is that how that works?
Yes, that is exactly how it works. Save myself a lot of money that way, actually.
Sacramony, yep, awesome.
Oh, goodness. Who did that?
But yeah, it was great working with Matta, and Ben just saying, yeah, and we chatted. We were talking about the secret history of Kickstarter and what Always Punch Nazis means, and that's because I wasn't in the first one. I just kind of found out about it after the fact, and being in the second and third one, it's like, yeah, I want to do that, because it's important. Comics are important. Stories matter.
Yeah.
And we should always freaking punch Nazis.
I agree.
Yeah, with Jay being on the show a few times before and talking about Always Punch Nazis, like the moment that you reached out to me, Will, and you're like, hey, this is going to be part of Always Punch Nazis, I was like, yes, I get to be in there. I get to be part of this.
So Will, I might have inadvertently helped you out.
Yeah.
I would have said yes
Thanks,
anyway,
man.
but it was like, it would have been an enthusiastic yes, but this is like a 10 times enthusiastic yes, just knowing the history and just like, I'm always down for punching Nazis. As a brown woman, I should be, otherwise there'd be something wrong with me. But yeah, like just to be part of the anthology and stuff, it's just very cool.
Yeah, this omnibus was supposed to come out 4 years ago, and it didn't. Like it was just like always that dream of collecting it in a nice hardcover. And I had written 4 years ago. I wrote like the ending story because this was it. We were done with Always Punch Nazis. It was wrapped up. So finally, like I guess it was like 2 months ago, where that would be like November, right? Where things happened, and Ben brings up running another Always Punch Nazis, and I'm like, why don't we just collect it? Why don't we make the hardcover? We've been talking about it for years, and he agreed. So we're putting together the Kickstarter. I'm like, oh, by the way, I have a story I wrote 4 years ago, and he's like, let's do it. And then it made an uneven page count. So it's like, we need another story.
Thank that you're the reason we got in. Awesome.
Yes.
Well, even funnier than that was my story was like a very positive story. Like it ended like, we won, we battled Nazis, and then 4 years later you're realizing maybe not. So there's a little I guess endowment would be the right word at the end that would just like epilogue, is that a better word? I don't know. There's a little thing at the end that we added in that personally, I think it's going to be, it's great. It's just really kind of is the epitome of what Always Punch Nazis is right at the end of that book and where we stand now. But yeah, so accidentally somehow I wanted another story in there, like 3 pages. And it was like, we need another new, and it helps too with new content, like getting a couple of more pages in there.
I always think
Something
one of those Omni things should have new content because you already have the other content. If you're the collector, you want a reason to want to buy this book.
You want to post the link? Do you have the link, John W?
Absolutely.
Well, I know there's a pledge on there, and this has been something that I think, I personally think this would be great. I think it's going to be limited to a handful of copies, but we're going to actually, for like probably the first time and maybe the only time, Ben Ferrari, Kurt Belcher, and I are going to sign book plates to slide right in the book as a limited. I think it's only limited to like 50, maybe less. But that was one that I was like, I think that would be super special because like I want to make this something that people who want it, people who want exclusives, and people who are like appreciative of the history of this book and what it is. That's usually a big one. Like I said,
we're at 96 too.
Yeah, I mean,
you can get to 100 before launch whenever that's happening.
Come on, people.
It's launching. Listen, I know it's launching today, but the problem is the guy launching it lives on
California.
The west coast of the United States, and that might have been. Well, he's not.
Yeah, he's probably not even home from work yet. I know he said he gets home at like 7:30. I mean, 5:30 their time, so that's probably going to be like 8:30 launch, 9 o'clock launch.
We were talking about that in the green room. There, it's probably 6 o'clock his time, which is like 9
o'clock for us. Yeah.
he knows you can launch from your phone, right?
Pro tip.
He might have gotten like a couple of minutes of an inauguration today, and he just might be sitting there like, right. You never know.
Well, I put the link in the comments, folks. So go right now. Sign up to get notified. Help us
be notified.
Get it to 100.
I promise
man.
you.
Get it to 100.
I'm hoping it launches before we're done.
Oh, that would be nice. Then we can be like, yeah, it's live.
It's an exclusive.
Little launch party.
It's the unofficial launch party happening right now, but will it launch?
That's what it feels like.
It's like, the countdown. We're in the countdown.
Even
though we don't know how far we're counting.
Rolling looking like Bobby Brady or somebody.
Did anyone see the Las Vegas New Year's Eve countdown? And how like there was like 3 different times it was so off, like one ball-ish firework thing dropped 20 seconds earlier than another one. And it was like
I feel like that's like peak Las Vegas behavior. Like nobody knows what the hell is going on. And everything is out of sync. And that just seems on point for Las Vegas.
That's where I feel right now. It's gonna launch, I swear, at some time today.
Right now.
Oh man! All right. So as we wait for this thing to get to show up in Compound, Ava, why don't you tell the people who you are and what you do, and I'll show off some of your beautiful art.
Oh, sure. Okay. Hi. Sorry, I've been silent. It's like I don't know about X-Men and stuff. So I'm like, I don't know what to say. But I do want to comment really fast. I love the book, like the not anti-Nazi, not.
I love Nazi propaganda. Oh,
yeah. Oh no. No, not that. No. I
on that one.
No, I do it. That would be crazy.
Oh dear.
That would be insane.
I think
but
everybody
no,
on
I
this
think
podcast is like-minded. Let's go punch a Nazi.
Yeah, real. No, I think that's really cool what you're doing. But I'm Ava Schrager. I'm a comic book artist, up and coming. And I specialize in really any kind of art. I do realism, anime, cartoon, narrative, whatever it may be. And I specialize also in covers. That's one thing I've been doing. I have about 6 official covers in the works right now for various different companies. That's actually my most recent, the Misa one. I am a cover artist for Night of Comics. And it is like really a dream job. I mean, I get to draw nude anime women, so it's awesome. It's great.
The dream.
I really am. This is actually something I've been wanting to do for a while. So it's really fun getting to work on it and doing signings soon. I'll be at MegaCon in Orlando, so I'll be doing some signings for that. But yeah, no. I also go to a lot of conventions and I sell my merch. Sorry if I sound like so tired. I am. I'm literally dead. I've never worked this many hours. I've never slept this least amount of sleeping in my life. So I'm like really on the grind for sure. I have a comic book that I'm publishing in like 26. I'm aiming for 2026 for it to be released. And I'm doing like 10 pages a day. So I'm exhausted.
My goodness, how fast do you work?
Exactly.
Very fast. I do work fast, but it's clean. It's not like it's messy. If it's messy, then I will stop, take some time off. But I typically work from 9 to 14 hours a day. So I'm tired. So excuse the, you know, I'm typically really hyper and energetic, but man, the workload's a lot. But you know, it's like, even if I wasn't an artist, I'd still be drawing. It's an addiction. I can't stop. And it's great because I love to work. That's one thing about me. And I think what also makes me a strong artist is I love to work. I'm a commercial artist, so I like to make my clients happy and satisfied when they come to me. And ask for work. I'm also working on some video games right now. I'm doing some video game concept art. So that's cool. I'm kind of like all over the place. I did a lot of everything. But the first con of the season, or I should say of the year, that I'll be doing is Garden State Winterfest. I am the badge artist for all of the Garden State cons, and it is definitely one of my favorite things to do every year. So I got the privilege and opportunity to do one of the badges, because there are multiple badges for this convention for all of the Garden State cons, but I was able to do what's her name? Does anyone know her name? I'm so not good at this. What's her name? Killer Frost. I did see. I draw comics, yet I know nothing about them.
I gotta say, for not knowing anything, you do a good job at drawing the characters.
Thank you. That's why people hire me. No, I just simply love to draw. You know, like I love, just because I don't know too much about American comics, because I come from manga animation world, doesn't mean I don't know how to do it, right? And I love to do it because I just simply like to draw. You know, I'm an artist. I like to do that. So yeah, no, it's really fun, and I love to learn about it. And probably my favorite part is just seeing the reactions of people and their love for their character, and I can give them, you know, the love for the character that they like. And oh my god, female can draw my favorite character, you know, it's like funny. But yeah, no, that's the badge. I haven't that's like the only post I've posted about it, because I'm so behind on literally everything.
This is the struggle of the comic artist that people don't understand. Like, you're so busy drawing comics that you don't really have time to like read a lot of other things.
I don't enjoy like I can't I can't enjoy, you know. I'm so busy with
Arcane. Cool. Arcane.
No, I'm so busy with my comic is the number one thing I've been doing now. Again, like 10 pages a day. I am like 80% done with sketching the entire book, and this is a really big book. And then I'm gonna go into inks, then colors, and then I'm hiring a letterer, because I don't do that. I don't know what boom looks like. I don't know what color boom is. Not my thing. So I will be hiring a professional to do that. It will be on Kickstarter. Really, my entire brand is about to change, so I'm also preparing for that. This is one of my prints. I've gotten so many requests to do an arcane print, so I, especially with season 2 came out, I like immediately got on top of that, you know, because I need money, and it's also fun. So I love arcane, so you know, 2 reasons.
I need money. I love arcane. Sounds good.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But that's pretty much my life right now. Like,
you're busy as heck though, because these 2 conventions are back to back, right?
I'm sorry.
These 2 conventions coming up, they're back to back, right?
Yeah, and that's why I'm kind of grinding my comic right now, is because it's like I have these cover gigs, I have things I have to do for like my setup, like for conventions and stuff. I just doubled my merch. Instead, yeah, that's what I look like with makeup on. So sorry, guys. But yeah, oh my god, so gorgeous. But like now it's like, woo, I don't care. Okay, I'm literally wearing my PJs under this jacket. So I doubled
the rest of us.
Right. I doubled my product since the last convention I did. So I have 34 new keychains that I've done. So I actually have one of them on me. The rest I don't have. They are in storage right now. But has anyone I've all of you say no, it's gonna be so sad. Have any of you, do you like video games? You guys like video games?
Yeah.
You guys gamers?
I think we're all gamers.
Okay, good. We're on the right track. Okay. Has anyone played the game Catherine?
Yeah, I played Catherine.
Yeah. He's like, thank you. There's always that one person.
Oh god.
I was about to tell you, Tony's
but
playing.
I suck. I got the good ending 2 times. I try to get the bad ending. I can't. So
I got the bad ending. So this is my new one of. Yeah. I'm doing a Catherine line of keychains, and it says Edging King. It says Edging King, and it's Vincent in his undies with a pillow. And it has 2 different meanings. There's edge, as in, he's the edging king, and then you got like every time you move a block in the game, it says edge. So it really has 2 different meanings. Anyway, I thought I'd share that because it's like one of my favorites. So I have nothing.
Like the first time I played it, it's like as soon as I started, I played it nonstop until I finished it.
Yeah.
And then when they re-released it in HD, I was like, oh, I already know what happens. I don't need to. I can take my time. Same thing. As soon as I turned it on, I went straight to it. But I got the same ending both times, so I give it up.
No, that's awesome.
Because I think if you get like the good ending, because they ask you a lot of questions, and it depends on how you answer the questions or what you do. So
yeah.
I was trying to get the bad ending. I still got the good ending. So
the bad ending is definitely probably the bad ending for Catherine is probably my favorite video game ending of all time. Of all time. It is so stupid. I've never been so satisfied for how dumb this ending was. I was like, who wrote this? It sucks. This is awesome.
Direction of what I was expecting. She was like, it's so stupid. I was like, oh, okay.
It's horribly dumb. It's I could relate to that because that's what my comic's about. It's so stupid, but it works, It's I love stuff like that. But yeah, no, I have 3 Catherine keychains. One is Catherine and the other one's Catherine. Just play the game, guys. There's a lot of shit in that game. But yeah, no, I have Pokemon, Zelda. I have a Majora's Mask of keychain now. Fairy Tale keychains. What else? I'm looking at my nerd stuff behind me because typically that's my inspiration for merch is the stuff I have around my house. I have a glow in the dark Polter Pup from Luigi's Mansion. So he's glitter too, and he glows in the dark. I have sadly some Dramatical Murder merch that just is being ordered. So I have something from every fandom. My stand is something that I think anyone can enjoy, and that's what I love about my strategy as a businesswoman is that no matter where I go, if I go to a comic convention, I have comic book stuff, but I also have some anime stuff because if you guys have noticed, comic conventions are kind of turning into anime conventions. It's it's happening, and it's getting harder to find some comic book stuff. So I always make sure that I have comic stuff so that when I go to an anime convention, they'll be like, oh my God, I love Storm from X-Men, or I love, Raven from, what's Raven from? Teen
Teen
Titans.
Yeah.
I love Raven from Teen Titans, right? So really, I just get joy, even if I don't know, like, the series I'm drawing from. I just simply like to draw and to make people happy. That's my job as a commercial artist. And that's also why I get hired a lot, because I am passionate about giving clients the product they want. So no matter what it is, I always try my best and have a positive attitude, with everything I do. And I also try to be an example for my generation. I have a very, very strict work ethic. I've had like 9 to 14-hour days since I was 16 years old. I'm 21 now. So I am super young, yet it's working for me because I put in the effort to do so. I don't sit on my ass and I don't do anything, right? I work super hard and I love what I do, and it is so worth it. And so validating for me. And it's also great because I get to give people a product that they really like. And I'd be like, oh my God, I made that. It is surreal seeing people come up to my stand with my keychains that I made on their backpack. It's so cool, and I always make sure to give them free stuff if I see that, because that is just like, have some more.
Supporting me. Why don't you have something?
Real, yeah, for sure. But yeah, really the main thing right now is my comic's name is Heroic Losers. Last time I was on this podcast, I wasn't even drawing it yet. I just finished
about it, yeah.
yeah. I just finished the concept art for it. I couldn't say anything about it. I still can't. I'm actually under more strict rules than I was about not saying anything. I have a hello, Tactical Kitten. I don't know who that is. But thanks for the support. Oh my gosh. I think I know who you are, but I think. Anyway, it's really my everything. So right now I'm kind of trying to figure out what I'm going to do with all my merch, because once my book comes out, everything's going to change. I'm already looking at voice actors for my comic, which I want it to be an animation. That's the entire goal, is to pitch it to be a show. So I'm looking into animation studios right now, looking into some voice actors. I already have one picked out. He's a goofy goober. Actually, I have two picked out. But yeah, right now I'm just really getting the ball rolling on that, especially before comic season starts, because I know things are going to kind of slow down for it once comic season starts. I mean, I'm going to so many conventions. I'm pretty sure I'm going to New York Comic Con, Anime NYC, MegaCon. I should be going to C2E2 maybe, all the Garden State Fest, others that I can't remember the names of because I'm so professional and awesome like that.
No. It's just the way it is, because we do so many conventions that after a while,
so many, and
they start to feel like the same convention.
Yeah, I will say Garden State is definitely my one of my favorite. Oh, Motor City is probably the same wavelength as Garden State for me, because Motor City was phenomenal. The staff was great. Hey Leon, Leon's my buddy. I was struggling not to say I hate him, but he's my best friend, so I feel like I can say that. But yeah.
I know you're doing a cover for Blake, right?
I am. Did Blake did tell you? He told me that he told you.
He told me. Yeah, he's over here on the side going, "Hey, everyone!" So I was like, "Oh, that's right. You did a cover for Blake."
Yeah. So Blake is one of the 6 people/companies I'm doing covers for. I'm so excited. Blake knows I've been wanting to work for him for a long time. And I didn't want him to hire me because he's one of my best friends at all. If I'm one of your best friends, I don't want you to hire me for that. I am based off of merit. I don't want to be hired because of my characteristics. I don't want to be hired because of just who I love or whatever. I don't like that. I want to be hired because of the work I put in, the effort, the merit. I work my butt off, and I'm thankful that he hired me, because that means that, you know, he's liking the work that I'm producing. I'm also very easy to work with, right? So honestly, if someone just hired me because of a reason, not because of my art, it'd be an insult. I mean, I'll take the job because I'm not stupid, but it is an insult, right?
Mad respect. Mad respect.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, like, I'll take it, girl. Like, but it is a bit insulting, personally. So I am grateful that he likes my work enough to hire me, and I waited a bit for it. So and you know, I don't push, I don't bug. You come to me when you're ready, if you want me, and I'll totally be ready to do that for you. That's how I work.
I can tell you, me and Blake were talking about your art from way before this, so you know, and we were saying a lot of good things about it. So.
Oh, don't stop. That's really cool. Oh my god. No, that makes me really happy. Very grateful. Thank you so much. Yeah, no, Blake's my buddy. I believe in his product as well.
It's a great book, yeah.
No, I like absolutely no, as in yes. See, I'm from Ohio, so every time I agree with you, I'm gonna say no, and then I'm gonna follow it by yes. Okay, that's what Ohio people do. But yeah, no, I know I've known about Blake's book for a while. Keith Williams is working.
Oh yeah, he's doing another cover too, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god, am I supposed to say that? Okay, sorry if I'm not.
You know that Keith is doing the cover.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I think he mentioned it on social media before.
Did he? Okay, I was like,
he mentioned it on the show. He mentioned it on social media.
Okay, yeah, we're
girl. I was like, did I just screw up so bad? No. Okay, did you see like the light frame from my eyes? Huh? Sorry.
I was saying you're safe. We don't have to kick you out.
Okay, cool. I'd kick myself out, honestly. I'd be so embarrassed and mad at myself. But
you
anyway.
Press the button. Wait, she almost said that.
Oh my god. No, but Keith is one of my best friends as well. I love Keith Williams. He's my bestie. Yeah, so it's really cool that I get to work on a book at this age with these professionals, you know, as a professional. It's so cool. It really just is like all this work I put in is really worth it. And I want Blake to also do some work for me. I can't super talk about it yet, but Blake's doing some work for my stuff too. So it's really cool being able to work with also one of my best friends, you know, and I'm also someone who's like friendships first, right? Like he was my friend before anything else. So the fact that he even wants work from me is really cool, because I feel like that's where I work best, is with people I know. Because I feel like that would be anyone. But that it is just really cool being able to work with my friend. And also it just makes me want to really push myself to really give him something that he wants, you know, listen and critiques is honestly one of my favorite things. If there's no critiques, that's great. That means I'm on perfect track. But if there is, I'm like, please give it to me, because I want to become the best artist I can. And it is my job to give you the product you want. So if something's wrong, you need to tell me so I can fix it. And that's really all I care about too. You know, I hear so much. I hear so many times from my bosses where they're like, you know, you're easy to work with because I've had artists in the past. You know, you should always fight for your art, but like read the room. You know what I mean? I only fight for my art if it's like super necessary. But like 99% of the time, I'm like, just fix it, man.
Customer's always right.
Do your job, please. You know, I'm a boss, so I get how it is. I kind of see both sides. I like to call myself a very open-minded person. I like to see all points of views. So that's me. You gotta look. That's also how I sell things too. Is pretty much almost everything I sell is things that I already like. So it's really funny because it's like, oh, like I think of when I was like 13 years old, and I'm like, what if I was at an anime con when I was 13? What would I really want? Why would I be like, man, I need that?
That's what you got to do, though, because you got to be able to put yourself where the audience is, so you understand what you're doing. If not, you're just going to be making stuff to make stuff.
Exactly. It really takes. You have to have a business mindset. You know what I mean? Yes, Blake, we love you. That sounded like horrible. Yes, Blake.
We love you.
Love you.
Blake
knows.
knows. Blake knows.
Blake knows how hard I'm working. Okay. But yeah. I think again with the book Heroic Losers, I think I've already have I shared the logo? Have I shared the logo?
Yeah, I think we only saw the concept art the last time.
Exactly.
Not the logo.
Concept art, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's the characters haven't changed too much, but I've definitely really perfected, I think, the style. Because last time we talked about it, I didn't start drawing it because I wasn't to the place where I was at with my art where I am today. Mm-hmm. So I'm just kind of to the point where I'm like, heck yeah. But yeah, I think I will definitely be getting to the point where I can share the logo pretty soon. Again, I think it will be done by 26, and I hired 2 more people for the book as well, on top of Blake. So it's just going to be really cool. I'm really excited, man. It's so dumb. It's so stupid, guys.
That's a great pitch. You've got my attention.
It's dumb as hell. It's like
somebody doing hey, I'm excited about my own project. You don't want to be like, oh my god, this project.
It's so stupid. It's actually dumb. It's like Harry Potter meets Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
Also a solid pitch.
Meets D&D.
That's a good combination right there.
Yeah, it's very.
Is already Deadpool.
Yeah, it's funny. You gotta have a sense of humor. If you don't have a sense of humor, you're not gonna like it. It's very heavy on the comedy. This is how I kind of have learned how to describe it. Is not only it is Deadpool and Harry Potter, but it's oh, what was I gonna say? Oh, Ava, you're killing me, you small.
Ava's tired.
Girl, you have no clue.
Don't worry, I do it all the time. I lose where I'm going with my words.
What are words really?
Where am I? Who am I? Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
Later, don't worry about it.
I was gonna say it's truly a book of real people living in a Looney Tunes world. What does that look like, right? One thing I've learned about comics is there's I love manga, but there's a problem with manga. This is the size of a manga. It's but it's colored. It's in color. But the problem I have with manga is there's no sense of direction when it comes to the background. There's no sense of sometimes there's just one person talking and then the other person talking and then the next and then the next, and it just gets kind of boring. And this is something that Western comics does extremely well, is it doesn't really make you bored when you read. There's always something to look at in the background. There's a sense of place. There's a sense of setting, and this is a fault I typically see in manga. So I am taking this, what I've learned, and basically the background of this book is the setting is pushing these characters forward, and it's putting them in challenging environments that make no sense, but how would a real person deal with this? So my job isn't to hold your hand, because this is an 18+ comic. It is made for adults. I really want to bring I want it to be an adult animation. But I want it to be show that animation is much more than baby goo goo gaga, right? It's so much more. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. So that's basically the goal. But again, back to the background thing. That's something I really wanted to avoid, is no sense of place, right? I want the reader to really fall in love with the world building, because that's really important. But it's also cool that this world almost has a mind of its own. It does unexplainable things that puts the very diverse cast in some really wacky situations. It really focuses heavily on what is a man. That is one of the biggest themes of this book. There's multiple themes, of body image and so on and whatear.
I wanted to say a miserable little pile of secrets, but that's probably not the right answer.
The other night, same thing I thought of. Yeah.
God. Well, yeah, I mean, it's like I have 3 different, characters who are like the main characters, and everyone who has proofread it so far, each one of them can relate to a different character. And it's really cool. And that was my goal, is how do you get someone to like buy something and be interested in something? You have to give something that people can relate to in a repetitive, non-annoying way. So I've kind of created these trio of mistakes that these happy accidents who kind of bounce off of each other while they're battling the thing that they're facing. We're kind of getting to a point, in media where it's kind of impossible to come up with something new, or we get something kind of crazy where it's a little too weird. So I'm basically just taking a story we have all heard a million times, but I'm taking inspiration from everything. If you know Conker's Bad Fur Day was a giant inspiration for this book, for pop culture references and things that don't make sense, but it works. And it's kind of like I want to make like a modern Conker. This is definitely supposed to be something that everyone can relate to, for sure. So that's the goal. So hopefully it works.
We've all had a bad fur day.
I know, real. I know. Yeah.
About the story being whatever, because all stories have been told already. It's just
exactly
we haven't seen how you're going to tell the story.
Just remember, everything is derivative of that first cave painting of like someone hunting a mammoth with the spear.
No,
nothing is original.
Exactly. You're so right. I was watching Fairy Tale with one of my friends because we're lame. And when we were watching it, there was this one enemy that like it was literally Groot. Like this villain was literally Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy. It was so dumb, and it was awesome. It was great. It's like we like take stories and designs and make something new out of it. I mean, have y'all ever seen the freaking Lego movie? Hello. This is not a new concept. So that's one thing that's really interesting, is there's a lot of references to some weird stuff, even some memes. But I did choose memes very wisely, and it doesn't happen often because you need to make sure that they age well. Right. If your meme does not age well, then it's just going to be cringe and gross, right? So choosing things wisely also plays a big factor in it, and getting as many trusted proofreaders as possible to make sure that everything is going to go smooth. And it is set. So I am so excited to freaking launch it. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm aiming for like beginning of 26, if not middle. Hopefully not end, but it's okay if that happens. Honestly, I'm heckin' youngster, so I've got plenty of time. But I like to push myself, and I'm practically the only one working on this entire book besides the letters. Ew. So, like, damn, I don't know what knock knock looks like. Excuse me. What?
Well, this is art to lettering, so nobody's gonna blame you.
No, it's gorgeous. I just can't do it.
There's a whole art to it. Nobody's gonna blame you because we all know.
No, that wasn't a diss at lettering. That was
bad letterer can really mess up your project or make your project.
Yeah.
No, exactly like me. Like, ew, like you want me to do my own letters? Absolutely not. It's like me going to karaoke. Ew, you really want that to happen? Absolutely not. Ew, you really want me to touch your piano? I don't think so. So yeah, no, don't take much of what I say to heart. I have so much respect for letterers because I don't know how to do it and I don't want to know.
So hiring a letterer to do it means you have respect for a letterer.
I'm boss, you know, I take pride in paying my employees. I want to pay my employees well. I'm gonna goof on you because I'm an unserious little boss, but you know, I'm gonna goof on your goober, bro. I goof on me too. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to whoever gets to do it. So plus it would give them a lot of exposure as well. But I already have a letter in mind. If he doesn't do it, I'm probably just gonna cry, but that's okay. I'll find a new one if he doesn't. No hard feelings, as in I'll hate you for life. But hopefully he decides to. No hard feelings, but you better do it. Not kidding.
There are many great and reasonable, amazing letterers out there. So
no, of course. Dude, people are gonna dig this up in 10 years and be like, Ava hates letterers. She's so mean. I'll be like, yeah, you're right.
Like that, Ava. It doesn't come across at all, Ava. Don't worry about it.
No, like this is another thing about my comic. You will get dogged on no matter who you are. No one is safe. If you hang out with me in real life, you're a target. I'm looking for things you're doing so I can do it in my book. So it's definitely, again, heavy comedy. If you can't take like a really like pretty heavy joke, then it's probably not for you. But it's definitely supposed to be an escape from reality. I want someone to pick up my book, have a hard laugh, you know, like, oh, I've had a bad day from work. I'm going to read some dumb, stupid stuff. So they pick up my book and they read some dumb, stupid stuff. So, you know, it's supposed to be, you know,
like I say all the time. As a writer, I always tell people, don't make enemies of writers because then writers will kill you a million times.
It's true. It's true. All my friends are targets and they're my friends. It's like, you don't even have to be my enemy. No one's safe. Like, I think that's the funnest part is I have really funny friends. They're hilarious. They kill me. Really.
People are always like, I don't know. I don't have nothing to write, Ralph. And I'm like, you're not paying attention to your own life.
This whole book is like my life. It's like my life on acid. Like, it's like
the pitch just keeps getting better and better, I swear.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
It keeps getting better and better, she said.
What?
Yeah, the pitch keeps getting better and better.
Oh, thanks. See, I'm dumb. All right. It's like, you expect me to be like, oh, it's this freaking wholesome. No,
it's going to be the pinnacle of literary masterpieces, my magnum opus. Like, no, this is some dumb shit right here.
But I think
the force.
It's dumb and you're gonna want it.
I will blink at something really fast, but even though I do keep saying it is goofy and stupid, yes it is. These are real people living in a Looney Tunes world. So I'm excited for the readers to be surprised of when they read the synopsis on the back, they'll be like stupid. And then they buy it and they read it, they open it and then they read it. Whether that's impossible. And there is some, in my opinion, some really good writing, good character dynamics. Again, it's supposed to be a relatable book to relatable problems that real people have. And it's definitely going to be, I think, a surprise for a lot of people of how much you're like, oh, wow, it's not just stupid. Right? It's not what I thought it was. There are definitely elements of mature themes, like very mature themes. And it's just like, it's so weird how I'm throwing around just all these weird different ideas about this book, and it's this and it's that, and it's horrible, but it's great. You should read it, right? That's my marketing strategy, and it's very accurate to the lore. I would say, like I said last time, hey, but where's the setting? This is one thing that I will say that is canon about the book, is it is taking place somewhere between medieval times and the 2019 Australian wildfires. Somewhere, that's where it is. So that's kind of how I tell people, like, Ava, you know. But if that doesn't give you a hint as to D&D and stuff. So it's got small dick douchebag dragons. It's got everything you could want. So,
You already sold us. We're already here going, okay, we're going to get this thing.
Awesome. You already bought it? This is what I tell my customers. Oh my God, you already bought it. Oh, buy another one. Oh man, you bought 2, buy 3, buy 4. Keep buying it. Keep buying it. Share it. Spread it. The whole goal is for it to get as big as possible because this was truly made to be an animation. I almost consider the comic to be a storyboard for how I want the animation to go. To tell the story I want to tell with these characters, I truly do need it to become a show. And it would work. I mean, look at the freaking shows we got, like Hazbin Hotel, a bunch of freaking like demons are like, they're in hell and they have this rehabilitation center, like these crazy ideas. Like it's not too far off.
I'm going to stop you 1 minute because I just got news here that, something just launched. Something
could it be launched. Could it be what I think?
Let it be known that I was the first backer.
Who said
You were number one?
I think
Oh,
I
look,
believe
it's going up. It's going up, folks. Look at it go.
Going up.
Yes.
This has become a
those
launch
Nazis.
party. Holy cow.
Get them.
Launch.
So Matta, you beat Jordan finally? Jordan's always first.
Was Jordan even aware of this? I feel like if he was, I wouldn't have won.
He'll probably be second.
So, folks, there you have it. It's launched. It's in the link. The link is in the comments. There you go. Always punch Nazis. You want a nice book about punching Nazis.
Who doesn't?
Exactly.
I think everyone does.
Except for Nazis, I guess. But we can go cry about it.
I think Nazis
and get
want to
punched.
punch Nazis too.
Did you see James Gunn recently? He was talking about Creature Commando. Like if you watch that show, there's a robot that he just kills Nazis. And then someone asked him, like, aren't you worried that you'll piss off Nazis? Like, I'll piss off Nazis. That's great. I mean,
exactly. Like mission accomplished.
Why is anybody worried about pissing off Nazis? These are crazy times, man. Like, jeez. Oh.
That bugs me out. Are you worried about pissing off the Nazis? No, I'm not worried about
I never understood that.
Dude.
Congratulations.
I'm like, they decided to call themselves Nazis. Nazis already had a bad name for it. And then they get upset. They go, but we're different. I'm like,
you're still using the same name. Like,
it's gonna be shit. It's like if you change it, it's still shit.
Exactly.
They're not even original. Yeah, they're using the same name. I mean,
exactly.
Come on, get some new material, please.
They could at least go backwards. We're Cizons. We're Cizons.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
I feel like if someone called themselves that, I would just have to punch them no matter what they stood for. I don't know.
Oh man. Ava, sorry to interrupt you, but I had to go put that up there.
Oh no, it's good. That was a very. I would like to be interrupted by punching Nazis, so that is phenomenal. I mean, I wish I had the courage because I believe it or not, every year I actually encounter one, which is I've the past 3 years. Hopefully, I don't meet one this year. I've met at least one. I remember I was talking to. It's actually crazy. I was talking to this one girl like romantically, and she told me that she was, and I was like,
that does not make sense.
It doesn't make sense. and I'm like Jewish, so I'm like, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, say that for the third date.
Like put the breadsticks in your purse and just leave.
Crazy, like actually. I meet some of the most. I have like a curse. I meet some of the most amazing people, or like some of the worst people. Like there's no in between. I either meet like the best, most amazing people ever, like all of you guys, or I meet like actual horrific, like dumpster fire people. It's horrible. Yeah, that's life for real.
So wait,
inspiration for your next book.
Exactly.
There you go.
So John,
I don't know.
Let's get over to you, John, because you're over there patiently waiting for us to get to you, and we gotta get some drumsticks of fire going.
Let's talk about it. You know what it's about.
There you go.
Oh, 101 backers. Yes.
Yay, we just
Love it.
crossed
You'll love to
100
see it.
backers. Yeah, we started one of our hottest starts in a while and then kind of cooled off over the weekend, but I understand,
As
you know,
usual.
existential dread is
You know, you were
rampant.
like a quarter of the way funded in like the first 3 hours or something.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I kept refreshing your
sitting
page.
pretty
'cause,
good,
like,
but
I
It
didn't
was like
refresh mine.
zooming, and I was like, damn.
yeah, I was excited about the start. But, you know, usually the people's come back. We have quite a few amazing returning backers. So we are back on Kickstarter. Last year we had a temporary love affair with Zoop, but we have heard the calls of our crowdfunding participants, and we are back on Kickstarter for the foreseeable future. But we got Drumsticks of Doom banned on the Silver Mountain, number 2 of 3. So just to catch people up, this is the second arc. We're doing the Hellboy series of miniseries, so you can jump in at any time. But of course, we have all the previous issues, including all of Volume 1. And yeah, Lana and her band are off to the mysterious Silver Mountain to record their album. Of course, the first arc was getting the band together, and naturally, what do you do next? You go record your album, and then hopefully in the final arc, you go on tour. So it's planned to be 3 arcs, and we're right here in the middle of it.
So wait, you guys are actually making the music for this?
Dan and I have talked about it quite a bit. Dan is a working musician, Dan Doherty, my co-creator and wonderful artist.
Mhm.
We have not yet. Maybe for like the omnibus or something, we'll finally make a theme song. We've made a soundtrack of bands he and I have been in, and other people who've contributed to the book have been in. We did that for the launch, but no original music yet. That is definitely something I know. I have some peers like Matt and Steph from In Symmetry Creations. They do their own original music for their books. I am super jealous of that. It's just not in the cards for Dan and I right now.
Like making the comic is hard enough. Y'all gotta like
Yeah.
put music and stuff to it too. It's a lot.
I've seen some comics with theme songs, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, I know. George O'Connor does a lot of theme songs for people.
Yep.
And I love that kind of stuff. And I love music themed comics, and when people have their own soundtracks and stuff like that, it's definitely a goal. But for right now, not able to put it together.
It's funny.
We did hide some QR codes in the book, but I didn't get a ton of feedback. It was not,
interesting,
not copyrighted music to us, but was kind of just hiding some in the book to see if people would kind of play it along with the comic. But I didn't get much feedback on that.
That's a great idea. Have you pointed it out to
yeah.
people that like, here's a QR code, scan it, and you can like read along with the song?
I like to think it's pretty obvious. Usually on the front cover, there's a QR code, and it's got like a little page turn symbol trying to indicate to people. But I guess I need to be much clearer in my.
Yeah, you need to do some hand holding here.
Play this now.
Hey, John, you mentioned Zoop. I mean, I know you guys were on Kickstarter for what most or all of the first arc. What was your Zoop experience like? I mean, I'm curious as a Kickstarter guy myself. So
yeah, well, I appreciate the question. We I approached Zoop because my hope after we did the trade paperback early last year around this time that we could kind of do a secondary launch there. It didn't quite get where we needed it to, and I thought, well, maybe Zoop's like a different audience, and so I sent them an email and said we'd like to launch this, and they said, well, if you've already launched another crowdfunder, we'll be honest with you, a lot of people cross-pollinate to them all, so we probably wouldn't want you to feel like you do a secondary huge launch here or anything. But they said we really like the book and we're very interested in launching a new issue, and we had an idea for we did a stuffed animal last year.
Oh, that's right. The
Yes.
stuffed animal. Love the
so
stuffed animal.
They were very excited about that, and kind of, they were talking with some people about other merchandise, like their comics only. Zoop is 100% comics, but they also want to do comics related merchandise. Like we happened to launch at the same time as Tim Seeley was doing a hack/slash board game and this. So it was just really cool that they were very excited. They were very willing to work with us. I said, listen, we're not going to bring 10,000 fans. We're not Jeff Lemire. We just have to be honest with you. So I don't want to waste your time. You tell me what you honestly need, what the rate cut is for you, and then we'll decide. They were very amicable to what worked for us. They said typically Zoop, though, if you do have a built-in audience, they can do everything for you. They do. You send them the images and what you really want. They set it all up behind the scenes. They can do fulfillment for a fee. They can do printing for a fee. They can do it all. So in that regard, I think going forward in the future, I think it's an awesome place. And again, it's comics only. So, we were on there with, like I said, Tim Seeley and some other great books. So it's really cool to be like, this is comics only crowdfunding. Come here for comics. Other people looking at these products will see ours. You're not in like a sea of 10,000 other products like Kickstarter, right? So that was really cool. And again, I said to him, well, we don't really need the full service. I can do fulfillment myself. I've been doing it for years. If the campaign blows up and we get 500 backers, we're happy to work with you. And again, they were just really great. The whole process, they were, it didn't end up working out where we wanted it to. We ended up having to launch a secondary Kickstarter because we found out, people are loyal to their crowdfunding sites that they've been with for a while. We get that. So it didn't really get to where we wanted to, but I think it was a cool experience, and I do love to share it with people who are considering using Zoop. I think if you have a built-in audience, like, a Charles Stickney or somebody like that, who could just port it over there, I think it's the place that I would want to be in the future as far as how much they interact with you and how much they answer questions and help you behind the scenes and do all that stuff that bogs us down that we don't want to be doing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool.
So it was cool, man. But back on Kickstarter.
I get not wanting to switch platforms though, because it's like I have to put my credit card information here. I have to put it there. It's floating around everywhere. Then it's like, oh no, this is
at least one person personally reached out to me to tell me that. And at first I was like, what? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And then I realized, no, that's actually smart. Like, not everybody should be like me, where I'm just throwing my shit all over the internet. As a matter of fact, I got freaking scammed by accidentally clicked the wrong link on Facebook the other day and had to shut down my credit card. So I definitely, after I realized it, I was like, you know what? That's smart. Don't put your shit all over the internet.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like T-Mobile of all places, like a year after I had canceled my account with them, had like leaked my social security number to the dark web. And I'm just like, oh, that's wonderful.
Jesus.
Because they keep
I definitely get it. I mean, a lot of them do use the same payment system. So if you are using it, just so people know, they use Stripe just like Kickstarter. So it'll be in the same interface, but I get it. Not people, and they were very nice. Hey, when you come back to Kickstarter, and I was like, hey, we sell it on our website. You can just buy it there. But they didn't. People don't buy it through your own website.
No, people never buy through websites. They're like, all right, I'll do it later, and then they just never do.
Something about that.
It's so funny though, because you figure they go to the website because it's directly to you.
Yeah. They need the fear of missing out pressure of like the time limit, where it's like back this before time runs out, and then everyone's like, oh, I gotta get it. Otherwise, if you give people like an infinite amount of time to get something, they're like, yeah, I'll get it later. It is
so funny. When we get that website order, it's like the holy grail. Like, yes, somebody finally ordered direct.
Yeah, even if it's like a $5 digital, you're just like, oh my god, yeah, I won the lotto, guys.
That's something that Kickstarter does really great. That 48-hour notice and then the 8-hour notice. Yeah. I mean, they figured out, how to really push that stuff out, and that's really cool.
And every campaign, we always get the casual browsers. We'll get 5 to 10, have never backed us before. And Kickstarter just has that ecosystem that other places will maybe never catch up to. So, yeah, it's definitely still the place to be for small press.
One thing that's pretty cool, and I notice this just from being late sometimes, but like if you don't have the funds on the date that the campaign is over, they give you an extra 7 days.
Yeah, they do.
They usually give 2 weeks. Yeah, they give you time.
Yeah, it's
like, don't worry about it. We'll keep trying until it works.
Yeah, and there's late backing now too, right? I think you can have
now.
Yep. We started that this summer, and have gotten a couple stragglers who missed it, so that's nice.
Oh,
they're coming up with all kinds of good stuff. The importing add-ons and stuff like that is now in there. That's amazing.
Absolute lifesaver. Lifesaver. Why they didn't do that before.
Yeah. So I think now that there is so many sites out there, they're kind of feeling the pressure to, keep people around. So, and that's good. That's good competition. So
dude, that is some schedule you got over here.
Yeah, we did 5 books the last couple of years, and I said, yeah, screw it. Let's do 5 again this year before the, planet burns up.
Like someone had said for a guy that calls himself part-time comics, he sure is on Kickstarter a lot.
And then I told you that I started the company, and I gave it that name to put limits on myself, but it didn't work.
No, it never does. It's
Yeah,
an
but
addiction.
5 books, you know,
already got
there's
this
other
ready
people
for the
doing.
next campaign. Look at that.
I know people who do 6 to 10 books. You know, it's fine. Speaking of which, LCS number 2 will be coming out in March, and then you probably saw on the schedule too. We should talk about here. If you haven't heard, Matta and I will be doing the final issue of Child Possession Services together. We are wrapping up the series in approximately May of this year as well. So yeah.
Yep.
And we're doing the Hold My Shipping program. So if anybody was hesitant to back because they want to back other things later, you know, you can back now. You can choose to hold your shipping. I'll refund your shipping after the campaign, and then I'll hold it. I think last year we did this, and we got a handful, but already with DFD, first one this year, we've got 6 people who've chosen it. So I'm always looking for ways to save the backers' money. I take pride in that.
This makes so much sense though, because if you're gonna back more books, then you might as well, you know, get a nice little shipping thing there, because it's easier to ship them all together than it is to ship them separately.
Yeah, imagine paying $5 shipping like per book, and you're getting like 5 books a year. That's $25 in shipping. Like that's a lot of ice cream cones right there. Just saying.
It is, and it just keeps going up and up and up. So especially for like our international backers, I just cringe to send them when we get these wonderful people who order 2-3 times a year, and you're just, and then so again, I try to come up with these ideas to save them a few bucks, because we really
that's like $100 in shipping a year.
Yeah, and again, it's the post office is making all the money off of it more than the book costs. So it's like, well, where can we meet at the middle ground? And it's less likely to be, you know, if I'm sending them 3 packages, more likely to be lost or damaged. So let me just send you 1, get it insured, and we'll get it over there.
Yep.
That's true. Yeah.
Solid plan.
Yeah.
So we already have 6
I'm
people who enjoyed that.
Getting some kind of book that doesn't show up.
And if again, if anybody is looking at our titles and like, hey, you know, I'm going to be back, or if you change your mind down the road, just email me. We'll work it out afterwards. But I'm glad at least 6 people. Again, I was kind of disappointed that not many people took advantage of it last year, but you know, doing it again, maybe we'll get people you know, seeing that it's going to be available regularly. And
I think as people get more used to seeing the concept, they're gonna jump in on it. But when something is new and scary, everyone's like, I don't know how that's gonna work, so they just don't do it.
Right. I get it.
But
we got a pretty busy schedule.
How are you doing this? Because this is already like loaded and ready to go.
Yeah. No, last year I had all of them ready before the year started.
Whoa.
And it didn't really end up with a ton more followers. So this year I kind of slowed the pace. So I'm kind of I try to get 1 launches, you got the next one ready. That one launches, get the next one ready. So at least, you know, you've got people in the pipeline as much as you can.
It's almost like you're your own comic company.
It also helps now that Kickstarter lets you
part-time.
That Kickstarter lets you do the pre-launch page before they approve the thing now, because they used to make you wait until they approved it. And then you do the pre-launch. Like I have the pre-launch page for Sacramony 8 up, and like I have nothing on there. I just have a pre-launch page.
Yeah, and I'll tell people a trick as well too. Like when you've done 20, or now this is 22, they approve it real quick. So you know, you prove you can do it. You don't miss any campaigns. We've never not delivered on a book, which is a nice feeling. So really, I can just paste the cover and some text and throw a couple tiers on there, and they approve it right away. So yeah, LCS, don't be fooled. Behind the scenes, it's not done at all. But I've got the link. I've got the basics. If you scroll down there, you can see the cover. You know, obviously I got the cover done early.
Well, I like when people put extra stuff in these like notify to launch things, because sometimes you're like just stuck here looking at this and you're like, that's nice.
Another great upgrade. And again, if you scroll down a little, they kind of let you do like a homepage, which again is a good upgrade, because the little link, you know, you want at least some information on the book, especially if it's a new product.
Yeah, it's like, what am I following? What is this?
Yeah, because they would give you like 100 characters before. You know, I know we need to be concise with our log lines, but give me some space to let a new reader kind of check it out. So yeah, so that'll be in March as soon as we wrap up DFD in a couple weeks here, and then we'll be on to CPS, then back to Drumsticks of Doom, the last part of that arc. And then our horror crime book Final Heist will end out the year around Halloween time.
That's a good schedule.
That's a packed schedule. I'm sleepy just looking at that schedule.
I feel like all you people are all like trying to kill yourselves. Ava, Matta, Will. I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing?
I do the easy part. All I have to do is write and letter it. You know, the artists do the hard part. I just throw them some dumb words on a page and then let her, and then send it to print and all that stuff. But
that's the reality right there. The artists do the hard work. I just write words on a piece of paper.
That's it.
That's right.
Dude, man, I like when the words come easily. That's when I'm like, okay, yeah, I agree with you guys. When those words don't come easily, that's when you're sitting there going, this is hard.
That's when you're like, oh my God, maybe I should just quit. What's wrong with me? Why did I ever think this was going to work out for me? Like, what is wrong with me? I'm delusional.
And sometimes, I find that putting it on the schedule, moving forward with it, sometimes gets the gears flowing. Because I'll be honest, I try to finish the scripts for the next year by the end of the year, and I really was struggling with the end of CPS. I didn't know if I wanted it to end. I didn't know how I wanted it to end. There's just a lot that I was just having trouble taking that step. I had the first few pages written, and I just could not get it done. And then once I had Matta do the cover, and she turned it in, and it was like, okay, here go the juices. Now I'm tied to this, right? She's got a schedule next year. She's relying on me to deliver this. So
yeah, if you mess with my schedule, I'm breaking your kneecaps. I mean,
I mean, sometimes that helps you get going, right? Like I'm like, now there's someone else relying on me for this. Like it's not just me, taking my time forever. We got it. It's time to do it. It's not going to be any better if I wait till 2028. I have all the ideas there. I just got to unjumble them and put them on the page. Really, with great artists like our original artist, Bob Gart-Ornelas and Matta, when they turn in the pages, they write themselves. So, again, just kind of getting that cover going was enough to kind of get the sparks going. And we haven't revealed our variant cover, which we will soon, but that's already done too. So once our artist for that turned it in, I was like, okay, I got these two people. They want to see their stuff out there in the world. And Matta wants to get this script going. So
yes, I need to know how the story ends. We have a lot of loose ends to tie up.
It's the way you look at it. It's not that you're stuck. It's that the ending hasn't come to you yet. It's not that you're stuck.
Yeah, and I definitely respect those who kind of wait for it. You don't have to rush it if you don't. But for me, I feel like the crypt is calling my name at any second. I'm over the age of 40, so if I don't get these stories out soon, I'll be dead. So
fair. I'm gonna be 40 in a couple of weeks. So
I say all the time. Rest in peace. Once I'm dead, they can go and look through my notes and they can make their own books. Okay.
I heard one person say she's under the age of 40 on this little stream going.
Call them out.
Young timer.
This is the over 40 club.
Oh goodness. My knees.
God, you guys are making me feel so old.
My knees, my back.
Oh man!
Listen, this seems like the 40-year-old podcast.
Relatable.
Charles, why don't you tell the people who you are, because you've been there quiet all.
Sorry for joining late. I'll start off with I'm not 40 yet, but soon, unfortunately. I've been working comics for around 15 years. Oh, that's a photo of me. I've written several books. 2 volumes of Ninja Express. It's a action comedy about a boy who joins his high school ninja club. My newest book, that's more manga inspired. My newest book's called Cuba Crusaders, about superheroes working 9-to-5 jobs, kind of like Office meets the Avengers. And actually, this just came in the mail today, the proof copy for Ninja Express Volume 3.
Nice.
I'm excited for that. So hopefully I don't find anything too bad in there, and I'll be able to order a full order of it and start selling that this year.
I was gonna say, what happened to John? Dude, I gotta say, I feel like you got like a lot of stuff you're planning to do. I know you kind of scaled back on it, but you are working on getting a panel type of thing done for May 10th, right?
May 10th, yes, and thanks to the Bit and Apple team for helping me on that. Yes, so I actually won the Brio Award. Bronx recognized its own in 2024 for Cuba Crusaders. And as part of accepting the grant, I'm going to be doing a public service event for accepting that money, and I won that for Cuba Crusaders.
Congrats.
Wow.
Thank you.
Represent the Bronx. Yes. Love it.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that you're giving back, that you're doing this whole thing. And tell the people a little bit of what you're planning for May 10th.
What I'm for the panel?
Yeah.
So I'm planning getting some local creators together, talk about the process of writing comics. I really want people, young people, to know that you can create comics. Like personally, I started working on comics. I feel like when I was a little older, like after college, because I didn't realize you could actually make a comic yourself. And I kind of want to educate people, especially kids in the Bronx, because comics come from the Bronx, and tell people like, hey, you can do this too.
I completely agree. And I think we need to start chasing the future, because at this point we're going to be stuck with the same old guys who are going to die soon.
That's a very nice way of putting it.
You got to teach you got to move it forward. You got to keep teaching. Comics were such an important part of my youth. It was one of the things that has formulated who I am. So I just can't believe that you have this new generation that barely knows what comics are.
Well, I guess they know what comics are, but probably a different format, like Webtoon or whatever, which it's like, it's different, but it's what they're into. It's what the kids are doing these days.
It's something.
It's a thing. It exists.
Yeah. Well, and today, I mean, looking back, creators they have so many more tools, and then works are so much stronger, like right out of the gate. It feels like, I mean, the quality level of comics today is through the roof, as opposed to where it was 20 or even 30 years ago. I mean, just because there are still people coming in and bringing new influences, anime, manga, Western. I mean, just bringing all the genres in, and it's. I mean, I still think, we're not a major, we're not a major medium at this point, but I mean, comics I think are still healthy, and I just remembered that Diamond just went bankrupt, so I'm going to shut up now.
They had it coming though. Diamond is not the end all be all for comics
because they're Diamond. I mean, for a long time they were a monopoly. They were the only.
Yeah.
They were the only store in town. They never had to do anything to prove themselves. So once they got competition, they still didn't do anything to prove themselves. And horribly run company, man. Like my local comic store, like their books have been late, like for the last month, because Diamond decided to move their products to a new warehouse during the holidays, so things have been late. Now they filed for a Chapter 11. My local comic store said, "You know what? Forget it. No more comic books. We're just doing manga."
Oh wow!
Wow.
Forget it.
But I do agree with Will. I do think it is a golden age of comics. There's amazing stuff comes out.
Oh, definitely.
Across the whole spectrum of comics. You just have to look for it. So anybody who complains and says, what I'm reading sucks, it's like, you're not even trying, because there's literally every month world-class books from all around the world come out, and you have relatively easy access to them. You just got to try, because they're better than ever.
But John,
our show's on twice a week, man. We're trying to tell you all the books that are out there. We're on twice a week.
John, you reached the point there. The problem is that these people, when they think comics, they only think Marvel and DC instead of thinking the way they should think, which is all of it. Because I can't find what I want. I'm like, that's because you keep wanting Marvel and DC to do what you want. They're not going to do it. You got to go look for it.
And we got to go look for it too, because I'll tell you, I've been doing a lot. Mostly because of budget. Like, when I do a big show like C2E2, I kind of blend into the background, and I'm not quite the carnival barker that some people are. And, it's all comics. So it's difficult. But when I do shows like small, I did a music themed show at a brewery, and everything was music themed products. And I have a music themed comic, and people were through the moon about it. I thought I was going to go there and sell 2 books and sit there all day sad. And I did one of my best days ever. I've done Halloween themed events. Same thing. They say horror comics. I haven't read a comic in forever, and I remember this comic, and I saw the Hellboy movie. This looks cool. You can find those people out there. It's difficult sometimes to get them to reach into the wallet, but when they do, then they come back and they see me at a show, 6 months down the road. And I bought issue 2 from you, and it was so great. I mean, that's a great feeling. But I know sometimes when you just keep doing comic show after comic show after comic show, and you're not finding your audience there, that can be frustrating. Yeah, I get it. But there are new readers out there.
Oh, they definitely
get really excited.
The whole thing.
Well, I think one of the really great things I think Kickstarter does is they leave those old projects out there, so you can go out. I mean, you can look at this vast kind of library of projects that have funded or sometimes not funded on Kickstarter, and say, oh, like here's the the last 7 issues of White Ash, by Charlie and Connor. You can see how it's gone, and I know this is the number of issues they've done. All right, I can find. There's this book called Sacrimony. I don't know if you know who does it.
Oh my God, sounds like a total loser does that book. I would read it.
But it's the I think Charlie, when Charlie and I chatted about it, he's like, it's the infinite newsstand, right? That's what really Kickstarter is that it's this infinite newsstand where all of our books are up there. Mm-hmm. And granted, my book is not going to be 10,000 deep like Lady Death, but I'm still on the newsstand, right? I think you're right. We need to reach out more, but we also have this really great tool where people can find us as well, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, it completely is.
And if you manage the campaign right, like even though it's ended, there's still the button you can like press to make the link that's like, oh, missed the campaign, buy the book here, or check out my latest Kickstarter, and like you can send people to like where they need to go to get the thing.
And folks, that's exactly what we're doing here. We're trying to show you guys all these beautiful stuff, because it's funny. We've been doing this now for almost 10 years. And I'm still as excited to show the new stuff we find, or show the creators we know, or give the people that don't get the press they should deserve to get, because everybody's always busy looking at the same old people and then wondering why there's no innovation. and we love pushing you guys out there because we all raise to the top together. Mm-hmm. Did we lose John? No.
Did you say innovation? Are you trying to change the books? You can't change the books. They got to be exactly like they were in the 60s. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
No, the 40s. Come on. Back to the first.
Man, it's the 80s.
Oh. Wait, no. Weren't they punching Nazis in the 40s? Hold on.
Bringing it
right after that, but before now.
Oh, got it. We're battling communism again. Oh.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh man!
Hey, Ben made it on. Look at that. He got out of work.
Hey Ben.
Yeah, Ben's over here talking to us on the side. He put the link over. He's like, "Thanks, Matta, for talking up Always Punch Nazis. We just launched and doing well." There you go. Let me show it off again. Since,
off to a great start.
All right, it did go up. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, it's moving.
Yep,
it's moving.
There we go. Nice.
Moving.
Wait, you got to refresh. You're behind still. You're behind, sir. Repeat.
Yeah, where are you?
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah.
There we go. All
Love to see it.
Oh, I see what you wanted to do there.
It's always great when those numbers do that.
I know. It's a very satisfying feeling.
Oh, it is. It completely is. Go ahead, guys. You guys, you can both talk about it. Go ahead. Tell a little bit of. So we're going to wrap this up here. Give the people a little bit of what's going on here with Always Punches Nazis, where they can find it, where they can find you guys. Will, Matta, Jay, go for it.
Will, Matta, you wanna go or?
My mind completely just went blank.
I'm always good.
It happens way too often.
My mind goes blank and I still keep talking.
See, Ava, it happens to us too.
It happens every time I do this show.
It gets worse as you get older.
Oh no, I'm already like the worst one on this show, and I'm only 21.
Hello, everyone. I endorse Always Punch Nazis. Andrew.
Good.
Thanks, Andrew. Always Punch Nazis obviously is currently running on Kickstarter. Just launched. This became the unofficial launch party. Who knew? I'm Jason Huwer. You could find me at jasonhuwer.com or Jay Huwer on Facebook or Instagram. If you want to try and find me on the artist formerly known as X, good luck. I'm sometimes on there.
I nuked my account.
I didn't. It's still there, but you never know when you need it. You could always find Pilot Studios on Facebook. That's Ben Ferrari's thing with publishing Always Punch Nazis and a bunch of other awesome books. And I'm sure he'll be talking about Wednesday when he comes on the show.
Yes, he will be on the show on Wednesday.
The hardcover omnibus right now, it's running. It's only on Kickstarter as far as I know. Whatever we get there, we'll have a couple more for shows, but that's it. I highly recommend the book plate because I don't see us autographing things very often since, one of us is in California. Kurt kind of roams, Kurt Belcher, he kind of roams the earth. He's always like my next door neighbor, but he lives somewhere else in a different state. If he's watching, he'll get that joke. Other than that, thank you, Matta and Will, for joining us this time around. I'm really glad we got to work that one out.
Jay, what's the next con you're doing?
I'll be at CradleCon
right.
Between now and then. I don't know if I'm bouncing to any other ones. Life is always doing something, so I'm not exactly roaming the earth.
We'll see you at Cradle at least.
Yeah, I'll be at Cradle.
Okay.
Even though that's my daughter's 17th birthday, so I might be at half of a day at Cradle.
This is like what was it?
Last year's 16th. Listen, I missed her 16th birthday because she wanted to go out with her friends. So I was at CradleCon for that. And it was like this year she happens to turn 17, so I'm sure she'll be like, "Give me my car and go."
That sounds about right.
Yeah, it does. It really does, man. Life goes fast.
It does. It goes too fast, folks. Go hug your kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Will, go for it.
Matta and I are doing an 8-page story and Always Punch Nazis. It's just for this one, for this book. I do have 2 other stories in the omnibus with Robin Davis, who's also a great artist. But you can find me on Blue Sky if you want to check out the book that I am trying to do more regularly. It's called Crossover Division, and you can find that at crossoverdivision.com. And you know what? I think I would like some fancy shit.
Thank you.
Are you talking about this?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
3 days.
Oh my God, yeah, 3 more days and then I can sleep. But I guess that's my turn to talk about.
Matta, you hit the 3K mark.
I did, yeah. So we actually get like thicker paper, so it's just gonna be like a heckin' chonker of a book. Because it's already 150 pages. Then we get like 100-pound like glossy paper on the inside, so it's like some extra fancy shit right now.
Ooh. Are we up to a ribbon bookmark yet?
Oh my! You know what? Mixum charges so much for those damn bookmarks. Like, I'd have to actually sell like 1,000 books to make that like viable. So the next goal might be like a sticker or something at 3,500. I haven't quite thought about it yet because I was just blown away that we hit the 3,000 mark.
I can tell because you stopped it right there.
Yeah. And also when I hit 3,000, it went backwards because someone canceled. So I was like waiting to go above the marking and before I even made anything official. But some fancy shit is basically a hardcover art book that's 150 pages that encompasses everything that I've drawn between 2020 to 2024. So 4 years worth of art. It's funny to see like how much my style has changed or like gotten refined over those years. Because I look back at my 2020 stuff and it's not like, oh my God, I hate it, but it's like, that's cute. Like it's still good, still passable. And then, you see the stuff like later on as things get more refined and you see how my style evolves. And there's all of my Sacrimony covers in there, Buddy and Friend covers, commissioned covers. So you'll see the cover I did for Will in there, also for John. So that's going to be in there. There's also like commissions that I've done that have never seen the light of day because I like once I send them to the customer, I'm like, okay, I'm done. I don't even post them on social media because like it doesn't even occur to me to do that. Worst artist ever. Or worst marketer ever, I guess. I don't know. I'm an artist, not a marketer. So yeah, there's those. There's like just sketches I like. There's extra bonus art that I've done for Sacrimony or things that I've just done for fun. Like everything is just crammed into that book. It is just one big fancy book of love.
And of course, you can do like again, like I said, pretty cheap commission here.
Yep.
Full color, yeah.
Full color. So as an add-on, if you want me to draw a portrait for you, I'll do that, and then that'll be in some fancy shit volume 2 down the road.
So it's a
wait a minute. I thought you were going to call that some really fancy shit. We had a whole discussion about that.
Yeah. Wait, it was some fancy shit, some fancier shit, some very fancy shit, some really, really fancy shit. Like, it's gonna get fancier down.
That's where you got to do it, man.
That's some fancy shit.
Listen, I it's bad when I was like all excited because you spoke about the interior paper quality. I'm like, man, that's like,
it's gonna feel so good in the hand. Also, like, you can throw it at someone and it'll do some damage.
That's some fancy shit right there.
What size is the final book?
It's gonna be 8.5 by 11, so it's gonna be a big old chunker. Yeah,
it's one of those big art books. Yeah.
Yep.
That's nice.
And folks, look at the stuff on the inside. It's just beautiful.
Like, if you didn't think it was some fancy shit, it is some fancy shit in there.
It is some fancy shit. Look at that.
Oh yeah, and I can also do comic covers. Whose covers are those?
That cover looks familiar. That cover looks familiar.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want me to draw your comic covers, I'll draw your comic covers. I do illustrations. I do a lot of things. I don't sleep very much. It's terrible, but I love it.
Yeah,
wouldn't be doing it if I didn't love it.
Go check it out. Get yourself some Buddy and Friends too.
Oh, absolutely. Very underrated.
That's a sacrimony.
That's sacrimonious. Oh man, we always have fun with Matta.
Also, I gotta say, just because 3 days left, the art book can only be gotten during this campaign. I'm not gonna have any later on. You can't buy it in later Kickstarters. You can't buy it in conventions or anything. Like, you got one shot. That's it.
One shot.
Yep.
FOMO.
I'm gonna help you guys out with this one shot. I'm gonna put it into the comment section. That way, you guys can go just get it there on the press the link, and you can't give me that. I don't want to go look for it, Ralph. I don't want to do research. My friend who I make fun of was like, "You're making fun of me." I'm like, "No."
But if you feel called out, I wonder.
He's like, "It feels like you're making fun." I'm like, "No, just the voice I'm doing."
No, that's the difference between a best friend and a regular friend. Because to my friend, I'm like, "Oh my god, you fell. Are you okay?" But if it's my best friend, I'm gonna laugh at you and watch you be in pain. So that's the difference between a friend and a best friend. Best friend is like, "Oh, way to go! You're the most graceful person in the world." Freaking stupid idiot! Look at you falling, and a regular friend, "Oh, are you okay?" It's like.
Oh my god, John! One more time, tell the people where they can find you, all the good stuff.
Yeah, the best place to find me right here, this cheesy link tree. You can choose how you want to engage with us. Substack, social media, crowdfunding, however you want to. Hand-to-hand combat, YouTube, whatever you want to do. Choose it there because I know people like to engage in different ways, so we don't want to point you to some place you don't want to go.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm always on the social media sites for better or worse, so hit me up there as well if you ever have questions about somebody with 15 years of crowdfunding experience. I always like to share the knowledge. And yeah, check out, we got Drumsticks of Doom live right now, LCS, which is a post-apocalyptic comic about comic collecting, in March. That will be the second and final issue for now of that, and then CPS, the fourth and final issue in May. We're wrapping up a lot of stuff so I can retire.
How does it feel?
Terrible.
I don't know, man. You say retired, it makes me laugh because I don't see you retire.
I don't either. I don't believe him.
He's like retired. I'm like, I'm gonna try. Well, I definitely need to get Drumsticks of Doom rolling here before Dan quits on me, because we've been doing it for about 5 years. So next year will be a lot, hopefully several issues of Drumsticks of Doom, and I'm sure I'll find some other stuff to keep me busy to pepper in there.
That's what we do, isn't it? We just keep going. We say we're gonna stop, but we don't stop. Oh my God, Ava, go for it.
Oh, hi. Well, you can find me on social media. Instagram. It's pretty much the only one I use.
That's why I'm showing you Instagram right now.
Yeah, I see that. Thank you so much. I also have Facebook, but I only post things from Instagram on the Facebook. Yeah, I mean, follow for updates on what cons I'll be at, updates about the Heroic Losers, which is coming out so soon. You know, my whole life project, not a big deal. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And if you're watching and you're gonna attend Garden State Winterfest in New Jersey, please stop by. I would love to see you. And if my badges are the guest badges, then yeah, I'd love to sign them. If they aren't,
I think
I won't.
your badges are the guest badges. I
thought you were gonna say if they aren't, you're dead to me.
That too, of course. That, yeah. But of course. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
And let's see, you're this week you're at Garden State Comic Fest, and the week after you are at MegaCon.
It's that soon? Dang. I don't look at my calendar.
That's why I was asking you, because it's like back to back.
I don't know anymore, okay? I don't know my schedule. I ate a piece of toast today, okay? All I've been doing is working. I've been living on sleeping pills for about 3 months because I cannot shut my brain off. It's a lot right now. But hey, no complaints here. Just I love working a little too much is all. But yeah, no, it's a great show. Arguably the best show I've ever been to besides Motor City. They're both equally as amazing. And yeah, I mean, the guests are awesome there. A lot of my friends are going to be there, who are artists.
Vaughn was saying hi earlier, so.
Oh, hey, Vaughn. Yeah, I saw him in the comments and I said hi like immediately. I think he commented on mine or something, or on the comment of the reel you made today.
Exactly.
He said, tell Ava I said hi, and I'm like, hi, like immediately. But yeah, no, come to the show, come have fun. The showrunner, Dave O'Hare, is an absolute gem. He's truly awesome. He treats the artists, the guests, everyone there extremely well. The vendors. It's just really a dope show. Oh, look at that! Look at that!
There it is.
Oh,
I'm not sure. This says attendee.
Oh,
I'm not sure what that means.
Never mind. You won't be. You guys can't sign it.
Well, the fellow artists to get it signed, yeah.
Yeah, all my worst enemies
cool,
get to wear my art on the internet.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Sometimes
you can go stand over them and lord over them and say,
I know it's
around your neck.
It's hilarious. Like all my worst enemies are gonna be wearing my art on their neck. That's been happening for the past like 2 years. I have like negative, like maybe like 0.1% hate me. I'd say the rest like me, but that small percent, it's just. I'm not the kind of person to do that, but man, does it kind of feel good when people are mean to you and then they get to wear your art? Hey man, the best revenge you can have on people is living your best life.
Yep.
Just live your best life and be successful. That's how you get your revenge, I guess, I suppose. But be humble, as in.
I gotta say, your villains are out there, and they're your biggest fans because they're the ones that check you out more than
exactly. You've been stalking me for 3 years. I've moved on.
The funny part is you'll probably never actually know who your haters are because they'll never say it, and they're just gonna sit there and be mad about it, and that's hilarious.
Yeah, I think in the future I won't know, but I know who all of them are, and it's just I'm just humble about it, man. I'm just like I'm an adult, okay? I'm an adult. Just move on, all right? I have a successful career.
You know you made it when you know that you have haters.
It's like, girl, like I know that's what I'm saying.
I wish enough people like me to have a hater. Come on, I'm looking around for one. I'm like, hey, I'm trying to start.
Yeah, and yeah, you just gotta it's honestly just motivation. It's honestly kind of humbling because it's like you think you're knocked down, but then next day, boom, you get a cover gig, or hey, at least I have water, at least I have food, things could always be worse. If I'm upset about people on the internet, maybe I should turn off my phone, right? Yes. So there's right, like I'm an adult, I know how to handle stuff, but it is kind of satisfying to see, that happening. It's like, you go, girl, let's go, make those connections. So
I say
cool.
let them keep hating you because those are the numbers you get on your posts because those are the guys that are watching.
It's so funny because they're the hate that the comments or like the reposting and everything they do is actually helping me, which is awesome. It's like it's crazy because I've like basically forgotten about them, and but it's honestly it's really cool because it's like, oh my god, you guys are like my biggest fans because I can't get out of your brain apparently. It's so cute. But anyway, you just gotta have a good attitude, really. Again, live your best life, be successful. Have merit, work your butt off, and good things happen to good people.
Exactly.
So.
Folks, we are going to be there Sunday for Garden State Comic Fest. Roaming Tony and I will be there hanging out. If you see me, say hi, and maybe we'll put you into the trailer. Charles, your turn.
I have my event coming up on May 10th. I'm going to be hopefully being able to launch Ninja Express Volume 3 real soon. My comics are already on sale on my personal website, which is below me. I know we just talked about no one buying comics through your official website. Please break that trend. More stuff to announce later this year.
There you go. So you guys can see it. There it is, ninjaexpress.com. It's so easy. ninjaexpresscomics.com. Come on, you guys can go look for it. Go check out the website. Go buy something.
Yeah, we like that.
And DM Charles and I are going to be working on some special extra episodes. Well, actually, it's going to be a create comics type show where we're going to get some guys who create comics in, and we're going to have a couple of shows where we talk about creating comics.
Nice.
Sounds like a fun time.
It's going to be an extra show for you guys to watch from the Bit and Apple crew. And
so that means you're doing 3 shows a week, Ralph?
No,
okay.
It's different. It's more like a special show.
Okay, good. I was about to say, like,
no,
must enjoy not sleeping.
Week ain't gonna work for me.
It's like the 0 issue or the half issue.
In like anime terms, it's like an OVA series. Like,
okay, there we go.
So you guys
funny the continuity, but just
exactly. You guys will be seeing those special episodes come up. We'll let you know ahead of time so that you guys can go all ready. And we're gathering guests to be on the show, and they're going to be some of your favorite creators, maybe some of the people in the room right now. All right, folks. That is everything. We are at the 2-hour mark. There you go. Special 2-hour Martin Luther King Day show. It's been a blast. You see all these beautiful people here? Go follow them. Go buy their stuff. Go support the indie creator because that's where the comics future is. It's in the indie creators. And if you want Marvel and DC to change the way they do things, support indie creators because then they're going to have to do.
Because then they're going to copy us and steal our ideas.
All right, folks. So on this show, when it comes to the end, I press the button and this happens.
So yeah, that's when I was like.